All right, Shalom. I want to begin by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, by Hashem, Yahawashi, by Hashem, Rawchaa, Qadash. Double honors to our teachers, the apostles, and elders of Great Millstone. Much respect to the brothers laboring worldwide in truth and sincerity. And salutations and blessings to the hopeful elect, believing on the words of Yahawah, by Hashem, Yahawashi. Coming next you with another lesson, Lord willing is edifying. And the Lord is getting down in the planet Earth, man. Those plagues are presenting themselves more and more every day. And you can't escape it, man. You know? And this is 2 Ezra, chapter 15 and verse 5. Behold, which means to look, right? Saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. And we're seeing a lot of death and destruction caused by these plagues that the Lord Yahawah is bringing upon the world. I want to get this word plague, right? And that's the spirit. You see that? First thing that comes up is plagues of Egypt. But let's just get this word plague.
Plague.
Plague. Of course, we know it's a pestilence, right? But I want to focus on the verb form. It says, cause continual trouble or distress to. Yeah, that's what the Lord is doing. He's causing a continual trouble. And he's distressing the hell out of these people, man. Some of the similar words, afflict, bedevil, cause suffering to, torture, torment, trouble, beset. Oh, dog. Yeah, the Lord is dogging you people, man. You know, by way of these storms and tempests, man. All right. Again, the Lord said he's going to send plagues upon the world. Right. Let's go back. 2 Ezra, chapter 15 and verse 5. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. And again, we are witnessing those things. Now, I have a couple videos queued. May not play through all of them, but it's highlighting the point of what the Lord is doing in the planet Earth, man. Let's move this up real quick. Right? So, this is Yahawah getting down, man. You know, now this first video is roughly from like 2 weeks ago, but it happened on the west coast, right, of the United States. And it's another atmospheric river, from what I've seen, that's getting ready to hit this place again. So let's play the video.
At least 2 people have died after days of torrential rain and flooding. Miguel Almaguer is just outside Seattle. Miguel, rivers are raging there tonight.
Yeah, Lester, believe it or not, the floodwaters here are expected to recede, and eventually the rain is going to stop. That's the good news. The bad news, another weather system is on the way for an area already waterlogged.
Bloated and bustling. Tonight, many of the rivers, streams, and creeks that carve through the Pacific Northwest are bursting at the seams, fueled by days of relentless rain. The dangerous, fast-moving torrents are leaving some 8 million people in the region under flood alerts. Across Washington, emergency teams race from rescue to rescue, the Coast Guard plucking one driver to safety, then hoisting a family from their home, which was suddenly surrounded by 4 feet of rising water. Today, an hour outside Seattle, the damage has been done to some homes in Granite Falls.
I put a lot of time and effort in this, and it just took one thing to take it all away.
The deluge, which triggered the flooding, the first of 3 atmospheric rivers, dumping several inches of rain in the region's biggest cities.
It's crested now.
Outside Portland, authorities fear at least 2 people were swept away by powerful currents when flash flooding turned deadly.
How would you feel if you watched your best friend go in the water and no one couldn't do about it?
With up to 10 inches of rain expected to fall by tomorrow, today's reprieve from the next system will be short-lived.
The water's rising high, and we're getting ready to get out.
A region desperate to dry out, now finding itself in the bullseye of yet another storm. Miguel Almaguer, NBC News, Granite Falls.
And like I said, this is roughly from 2 weeks ago. But it speaks to the fact of that continual stroke, that continually causing trouble to that Yahawashi is doing. Let's go to the next one.
This is the Patriot Power Cell. It's a portable battery pack with a built-in solar panel for endless power.
Tonight, a powerful coastal storm charging up the East Coast is already packing quite a punch.
He's floating. Uh-oh.
Charleston, South Carolina, in the bullseye today. Fierce winds and torrential.
Now, this news report was roughly 2 to 3 days ago, right? Charleston, South Carolina.
Rain combined with the high tide, sending water gushing into streets, flooding neighborhoods. Some cars were able to make it through the high water, and the fire department was patrolling streets, helping rescue people from cars that didn't make it.
And that water is, not even 12. The water is higher than the road.
Is that the worst flooding you've ever seen?
This has been the worst we've seen. And I mean, we've been here through several hurricanes and, rough storms. But this is probably the highest we've seen the water peak.
The Carolina coastline seeing scenes like this.
Most places look like this. Water's coming up pretty high.
This same system slammed into Florida on Saturday. The deluge bringing blinding rains and strong winds. Visibility so bad, this car plunged off a seawall near Venice. Watch again. The driver saying he was not familiar with the area and couldn't see where he was going. His car continuing to float until first responders arrived.
Oh my God.
In St. Petersburg, this scary scene. The storm causing an electrical surge, sending bolts of electricity coursing along this power line. The downpours also wreaking havoc along the Florida Turnpike near West Palm Beach. With millions at risk up and down the East Coast tonight, the storm threatens to uproot holiday travel for millions this week.
And George is with me now in Philadelphia. George, a lot of people are worried about travel delays this week. What are we seeing so far with flights?
Yeah, Kate, so far, a little more than 100 cancellations.
With the weather, because with less than 1 week before Christmas, hundreds of thousands of Americans are without power tonight after what the National Weather Service is calling a 100-year flood. An intense storm pummeled the Northeast and is still causing problems. 4 states are experiencing major flooding tonight. Rivers are still rising and inundating neighborhoods. Rescue teams tonight are working to get people out of their homes and cars. So far, the storm is blamed for at least 5 deaths from Florida to New England. CBS's Errol Barnett is going to lead us off tonight in Paterson, New Jersey. That is a city under a state of emergency. Good evening, Errol.
Good evening, Nora. The massive amount of rainfall we saw in this part of the country caused the Passaic River to go from picturesque to panic-inducing. It's overflowing its banks, triggering flood warnings, and of course putting lives at risk. It's a post-storm scene we are seeing repeated throughout the Northeast.
The deadly storm system left scenes of flooding, buckled roads, and downed power lines in its wake from the mid-Atlantic to the Northeast. In Jackson Falls, New Hampshire, newly melted snow fueled raging rivers and floods. First responders were using drones to search for 2 people missing in Mexico, Maine. A swollen river caused by 5 inches of rain swept their car away on Monday. CBS affiliate WGME reporter Owen Kingsley is in Franklin County, one of the 14 under a state of emergency.
Here in Carrabassett Valley, you can see a temporary replacement being made on this road as several people are currently trapped at a local ski resort. For others around the state, they could be waiting days until their repairs can be made.
Take a look at the ongoing flood risk here at Great Falls in Paterson, New Jersey. Typically, 2 billion gallons of water pass through here every day. Right now, it's at major flood stage.
Throughout the state, multiple first responders rescued a handful of residents from inundated homes. Drew Marasco waded through chest-deep floodwaters outside of his pool construction company in Pompton Plains. Inside the business, the water was nearly 5 feet deep.
We were in there trying to salvage everything, welders, tools, toolbox drawers, which probably aren't up high enough now.
In Lincoln Park, a fire consumed this house. Firefighters struggled to get through floodwater to battle the blaze. Now that the storm system is history, airline delays and cancellations have been minimal as the TSA braces for the
Australia
rush.
next, where emergency services have been trying to rescue hundreds of people trapped by flooding in the state of Queensland. Authorities say people were stuck on the roofs of their homes as rising waters cut off entire areas. Severe weather warnings remain in place with the heavy rains that have swollen rivers and engulfed roads expected to continue for most of Monday. And if that wasn't enough, take a look at this. I think we can show you a crocodile seen swimming in a storm drain. This is in the town of Ingham. You can see it there just in the centre of your screen, this little face poking out. Well, let's go live now to ABC journalist Christopher Tester, who's in Cairns and has been reporting on this throughout the last, 24 hours. Thanks very much for joining us. Can you just talk us through how things are at the moment? The pictures that we're seeing are just incredible.
Yeah, Lucy, good evening here, evening Australian time on Monday. Things are a little different depending on which part of far north Queensland you're in. In the major city of Cairns, population about 200,000 people. The city experienced one of its wettest days on record, the worst flooding since 1910. Most of that rain fell on Sunday Australian time, and some coastal suburbs were completely cut off. Some of them remain completely cut off, but in those areas, flooding in the streets has really started to subside. It's in the further north towns in parts of the Daintree rainforest. One town in particular, the small Aboriginal community of Wudjul, where people are still, in some cases, waiting to be rescued. And there is a search and rescue there for an 85-year-old man who hasn't been seen since 10 o'clock last night, so about 21 hours ago. The recovery process in some places has started. In other places, things still remain quite serious.
And with that Wudjul area, they tried with helicopters, didn't they, to get there, but actually had to turn back, didn't they?
Wudjul, while the rain in Cairns had stopped by this morning, in Wudjul, it was still raining throughout parts of the day. I think they're hoping to get in tomorrow. Just to paint a picture, it is a very remote location, the Daintree rainforest, of course, one of the great remnant tropical rainforests of the world. Wudjul's about 200 kilometres north of Cairns. Road access to even places like the tourist town of Port Douglas, about an hour north of Cairns, has cut off because the flooding has just completely decimated some roads. In Wudjul's case, you've got to get the ferry over the flooded Daintree River, so really difficult to access, even in the best of times in a tropical wet season in Australia. So the authorities have really got a challenge to get to some of these places.
And again, you see the Lord is getting down, man. Said he's going to send plagues upon the world, and that's what we're witnessing. You know, this is Nahum, chapter 1, and verse 3. The Lord is slow to anger and great in power, and will not at all acquit the wicked. Right, the Lord is not going to acquit the wicked, man. You're going to receive that judgment that's coming to you. The Lord, Yahawah, Yahawashi, have his way in the whirlwind and in the storm, and the clouds are the dust of his feet. Yeah. So those floods caused by what they call it, 100-year rain, you know, 100-year storm. It's like you. That's what we witnessing more and more, man. You know, these storms are biblical proportions, man. You know. And you know that the return of our Lord Yahawashi is shortly coming, man. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 29, and verse 6. It reads, Thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts. Yeah, the Lord of hosts. Any and everything is to his disposal, man. Okay? The Lord can use a fucking squirrel to get on your ass. A honey badger, you know? Something small, a fucking gerbil, man. You know? The Lord can use anything to get on your ass. All right? And in this case, he's using storm and tempest. It says, thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts with thunder and with earthquake and great noise, with storm and tempest and the flame of devouring fire. Oh, we seen in that video where they couldn't even get to the house that was on fire because it was flooded out all the way around it, man. Well, that's Yahawashi, you know, bringing that sudden judgment on these people, man. You know, this is the book of Psalms, chapter 83, and get straight to the point, verse 15. Now you read up. It's talking about all the nations that have come and cut us off from being a nation, man. Excuse me. Chiefly the house of Esau, Edom, man. And all these nations are confederate with them. This is Psalms 83 and 15. So persecute them with thy tempest and make them afraid with thy storm, see? And that's what that woman said. This is the worst I ever seen it. You spend all your life building up something and it's gone in an hour. Yeah, that's your Yahawashi persecuting you with his tempest. See? This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 28, and verse 2. It reads, behold, the Lord hath a mighty and strong one, which as a tempest of hell and a destroying storm, as a flood of mighty waters overflowing, see, shall cast down to the earth with the hand. So it's Yahawashi sending out orders, man. You know? And they are causing a continual distress to these people, man. You know? So much so that there's nothing but despair on the dinner menu for them. You know? As a dude said, his business, they got in there and moved up. Excuse me, Satan moved up their toolboxes to the point where, you know, he believed that they ain't move it up high enough. So that's gonna cause where, you know, probably had to get new tools, more money, you know, more calamities, man. And it's beautiful. That's the Lord getting down again. Those causing a continued distress too. You know, that definition of the word plague. Right? Let's close it out. Let's go to 2nd Ezra chapter 9. Second Ezra chapter 9. And start at verse 4. It says, you know what? It just started at the top. Right? 2nd Ezra 9 and 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. And we read in Isaiah 29, the Lord is going to visit this place by storm and tempest, the flame of devouring fire. Again, the Lord of hosts, and everything is to his disposal. It says, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou understand, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. See that? For like all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. And we're clearly at the end because it's speaking. right? It's manifesting by the way of the prophecies, the plagues, the pestilence, you know? So I pray this been edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem, Qadash. Double honors to our teachers, the apostles, and elders of Great Millstone. Lord willing, coming at you another lesson. Till the next time, I say Shalom.